Today I'm at the Montreal Auto Show and I'm at the VinFast booth. All right, look around me. There's VinFast VF8, VF9, VF6, VF7, and today we're gonna get a detailed look at those cars. Let's go.
Hey Tom Peng, love what you're doing on your channel, buddy. Super congrats. You know, giving your time and energy to nonprofit business channel. Look man, keep driving that audience. So Tom Peng, look forward to spending some time with you. I know you got the right mindset, so I'd love for you to share some of that from the big V. God bless, be great. 10X.
There are many car manufacturers represented here at the Montreal Auto Show. But you know what? I think VinFast being here is very cool because now the Canadian consumer get to see a whole new car brand here in Canada, and they get to look at a car they have never ever seen before. And you know what? Frankly, the VinFast cars look very sexy. There is the big VinFast logo right there. But first, let's get a closer look at the VF9, right? VF9. It is a big car. It is actually quite a big car. So now let's look at the dimension of the VF9. It is a long SUV, it's a large vehicle, and it has 3 rows. So you got your front row, your second row, and in the back there's also the 3rd row, okay? The door opening mechanism works differently compared to the VF8. And notice, it's actually soft close. It'll actually close by itself, so you don't have to slam the door. Let's see if it works on the back as well. So open the door, and does it soft close? Yes, it does. So that's a very cool feature that generally comes with luxury car models only. So let's look at the trunk, right? I have noticed that the trunk actually opens differently compared to every other VinFast, because normally what you do is you look at the A, you find the A, and then the button's right over here. But actually with the VinFast VF9, you have to look at the N, right? And then the button's right down here, you press it, and then of course the trunk opens. And you will not find the close button in this normal position. The close button's actually on the left side right here, and you press it, you have to wait 4 seconds before the trunk actually closes. So the trunk mechanism works differently in the VF9. Also in the front, there is some trunk storage space, and it seems to be more spacious than the VF8. You can actually store maybe some groceries in the front trunk. So the VF9 is designed with aerodynamics in mind. Notice there's actually air vents that goes through here and it comes out here. Also has vents here to keep the car as aerodynamic as possible. The VF9 comes with the side stepping skirts, which is kind of important because when you have a SUV with higher road clearance, you need something to help you get into the car. It does have a side skirt to help you with that. So as you can see, there's actually ample sitting space in the second row. And let's get into the front row. So it comes with a large display similar to that to the VF8. And as you can see, the amenities are very similar to the VF8. And I noticed that the general quality of the material also seems to be better than the VF8. There's still some plastic elements, but at least the inside of this storage area seems to be felt. You know, there's some soft, furry element here. Look at this glossy cover for the cup holders, and look at the slow open. So generally, you can see that the quality of the VF9 is superior than that of the VF8. If you try to get out of the VF9, you'll see that there's actually no door latch. So how do you get out of the VF9? Well, actually, the latch is right down here. You would have to pull this latch right here, and then the door would open. So let's look at the amenities of the second row. And as you can see, the second row seats are actually powered. So you can actually adjust the position and posture in the second row as well. The second row also comes with a display here, which I believe controls the climate control systems. And I want to show you the roof right here. So it comes with a roof that is completely open to the sky. I don't know if you can actually dim this or not, but this looks really, really cool. So let's look at the software in the VF9, and I think this is of course pre-production, but it looks very similar to that to the VF8. It has all the similar feature sets, and look at the apps are available, which also looks very, very similar. And the driving aids are probably pre-production, so they're probably not yet available. Of course, we're all looking forward to the driver aids becoming available. So let's talk about the specs. So this car is powered by dual motor, one in the front, one in the back. In total, it gives you 402 horsepower. It will propel you from 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in about 6.5 seconds. And as you can see, there's a lot of interest in the VF9. Everybody want to touch it and look at this car. The VF9 comes with two variations, Eco and Plus. Both of them get 123 kilowatt hour battery. Both of them will give you almost 600 kilometers in terms of range. But please note, this is WLTP testing. We don't know what the actual EPA testing result would be. But if true, 600 kilometer range is actually amazing for a car this big and this huge and this heavy. There's actually a very minute difference between Eco and Plus. You get different rims, and with the Plus you also get the third row climate control. And that's all I can remember for the moment. I'm sure there are some other differences. So from my perspective, actually I don't think there's a whole lot of difference in terms of the Eco and the Plus. So I've already placed my order for the VF9 in Vietnam, and it should come to me probably sometime February this year. And I'm looking forward to receiving my VF9, and I think this is gonna be a very, very cool car to drive around Ho Chi Minh City, even though it's kind of big. And here is the VF8, and VF8 will be available in Canada around the middle of 2023. And you know what? I have already placed my reservation for the VF8, and I will also be driving a VF8 in Canada. So let's turn our attention to the VF7, all right? As you can see, the VF7 has different design style compared to the VF8 and the VF9. Apparently, this is being done by a Korean designer, and I have to say the car looks kind of sexy. It kind of looks like the VF9. It has some design elements from the VF9, particularly the back arch there. And I would not mind being caught driving in this car because it looks like a sexy car. And this is a step smaller than the VF8, of course, but it's by no means a small car. Let's go look in detail here. So this is the first row, and as you can see, the interior design is different from that of the VF8. I do not see the gear control in the center console. That is different. Also, the back seat actually does look somewhat spacious. Unfortunately, we're not allowed to touch this car, so we won't be able to get a very detailed look at this car. All I can say is that it looks sexy. One of the elements that I really like about the VinFast VF7 design is the big wheels. Look at that. Look at the size of the wheels compared to the car, right? When you put big wheels like that on a car like this, it makes the car look very sporty. It reminds me of the Range Rover Evoque. It makes the car look sporty, muscular, and sexy. So in summary, if you think that the VF8 may be too big for you, this might be the right choice for you. It's just a little bit smaller to to traverse Vietnamese roads and different roads in other cities, and this could be your choice. And I have to say, this looks really, really sexy. Now let's talk about numbers. The VF7 also comes with two variations, the Eco and the Plus. The Eco comes with 150 kilowatt motor, probably driving the front, and which gives you 310 Newton meters of torque. And the Plus gives you the 260 kilowatt motor and has 500 Newton meters, so it's obviously faster. Both of the models come with 75.3 kilowatt hour battery, which gives you a range of about 450 kilometers. I believe that's WLTP testing result, so EPA will probably be lower than that. But given a 450 kilometer range, if proven, this should be a very versatile car. You can actually take this car to places. So in Canada, VinFast will start taking reservations for the VF7 starting this year, probably in the spring or the summer. And the first delivery of the VF8 in Canada will probably be around the end of 2023 or early 2024. So if you want to be the first persons to receive the VF7, reserve this car as soon as you can when VinFast opens up its reservations for this car. All right, let's turn our attention to the VF6. All right, here is a VF6 demo. We can't touch it, it's only for display. But again, I gotta say, it looks sexy. Right? It looks like a really sexy car. I like how they put these really big wheels on these smaller cars, which makes the car look very, very sporty. The VF6 is, of course, smaller than the VF7. I would say the VF7 is probably about the same dimension as the E34, and this one is a bit smaller than that. And let's look at the interior. So this is what the front row looks like. It does have a smaller display compared to the VF8, VF9, and the interior design does look very different from that of its older siblings. So let's look at the back seat. Of course, the legroom in the back is compromised due to its smaller size. So I'm very happy to be able to look at the VF6 in person. I couldn't even do that in Vietnam, but being at the Montreal Auto Show, I get a very, very close look at the VF6 and 7, which I'm very happy about. In terms of the specifications, it does also come with Eco trim and also the Plus trim. Let's talk about the top trim. The top trim gives you about 150 kilowatt of output, about 310 Newton meters of torque. And it comes with a 68 kilowatt hour battery, if I'm not wrong, which gives you about 380 kilometers of range. So I think this car would be perfect for Vietnamese roads, because we know in Vietnam sometimes we have to travel in small alleyways, and I think this would be the perfect car for it. And with this car, I can probably go anywhere in Vietnam. And if the range of 380 kilometers is true, then it actually can take you places. Now in Canada, if you want to reserve this car, reservation will start in spring or summer this year, and the first deliveries will start towards the end of 2023 or maybe early 2024. I'm hoping that these cars will be available sooner in Vietnam so that our Vietnamese drivers can get the first taste of the VF6 and VF7. So I want to thank VinFast for allowing me to come to their booth and film all the cars on display here at the VinFast booth. And it is a really, really nice booth. They put up a really, really good display here, which attract a lot of attention, as you can see. And you know what? They also serve Vietnamese coffee right over there, all right? Let me show you that. So VinFast partnered up with a local Vietnamese business to provide Vietnamese coffee, and it's really good. If you're in Montreal, you gotta check them out. What's the name of the Sue?
Yes.
SUE.
Yeah, as
All right.
as that.
So if you're in Montreal, check them out. So from the Montreal Auto Show and from the VinFast booth, take some fucking action. Look into the VinFast VF6 and the VF7 and of course the VF9 and put down your reservation and don't be a fucktard.